Hi, everyone. My name is Elisa, and I am from the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office. I work in our Regulatory Services Division. We regulate multiple units, but we're talking about fireworks today. Mark Johnston, who is our Assistant Chief Deputy, will be joining us here in a bit. He had another meeting he had to do first, but he'll be coming in later. So I really designed this PowerPoint as an interactive PowerPoint. I want you guys to chime in, ask questions, use the chat. Feel free just to raise your hand and or chime in. I don't know if Zoom has the hand raise thing, so you can just unmute yourself and ask questions if it doesn't, because I don't see that option. Anyway, please. I can see, Mark, I think I can see you. There you are.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Sorry, I'm just getting used to Zoom. It's not quite the same as.
Yep, same here. Thanks.
Okay, so hopefully everybody can see my screen. It shows our logo and then the Fire Authority user guide. Oh, Mark, did you want to introduce yourself or have any words to start us off with?
Not necessarily, but I can come up with something. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. We wanted to, we've done quite a bit of modernization in our fireworks program and trying to make it a lot easier for both the fire service and our customers. So with that, we were asked to do a little show and tell today. So Elisa definitely knows the system better than I. So I will hand it over to her. So happy to answer any questions. Thanks for the opportunity. And I'll just sit here quietly and listen. Happy to answer any questions if you have anything of me. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, well, let's just get started right off. I have a PowerPoint, but I also have some live demos to interject as we go through the process. So please speak up if you have any questions at all. I can pretty much show you any form of the process as we move through it. So let's just get started. As Mark mentioned, we've modernized the system. Every single fireworks program is now online, which is really exciting. We do still accept paper applications, but the online process is much faster for you, for us, for the applicant. So I'm hoping to see the majority of our applications come through this online portal. This is just a picture of what the actual true online portal looks like for our applicants. So let's just get right in. The applicant is filling out the application online. It looks different, but it is the exact same information as all of the paper applications have always been. We just took the paper application, put it online for them to fill out online. There are some validations, but it's still kind of an evolving process as we learn and move through the season. So that being said, the applicant puts in all of the fire authority, law enforcement, depending on the type of application they're doing, they put in all of the information. As the authorities, you review everything that they input, but OSFM does not review the application between when the applicant puts it in and sends it to you. So it is exactly like a paper application in the fact that they fill it out and just send it straight to you. Our office has not seen it yet. So once the application signs it, or the applicant signs the application, they'll click a ready for signature button at the bottom. Basically, they're confirming that everything they put on the application is true and correct. This is how they want to do their display or retail stand. And both of the applications look fairly similar. There are a couple of differences, and we'll kind of break those out as we go through this. But to start with, they all start with the same: who am I? What am I trying to do? Retail, display, etc. And then it's as they start to fill out those things, it starts to branch out and go specific to those applications. So, but they all sign it. It'll be dated, and they're confirming that they understand the rules and responsibilities, just like they would with a paper. Once they sign, notification emails are sent out to the authority that they list on the application. As I mentioned before, there are some validations, but this Spot is not one of them. So whoever they list as the authority will be who gets the emails. This is a spot where when you receive the emails as listed as the fire authority, if you charge a fee, this is where you need to make contact with the applicant because this is them submitting their application to you for review. So this is where you need to kind of time out. Hey, we charge a fee for this review, and you coordinate with the applicant to get the fee and get whatever you require as the authority. Also, if you were listed in error, you get an application and it's for Portland and you're in Troutdale and it's not yours. You can contact the applicant straight from there. They list their phone number, their email address, all of that's listed on there, and you can contact them directly and say, hey, I'm not the authority. This is not me. The applicant has the ability to go in and change it if they need to. If you don't, if you miss the first set of emails, you'll get another reminder 7 days later. So 7 days after you get the initial, you'll get a secondary set like, hey, don't forget to sign these. And they're exactly the same. It's just another reminder, hey, don't forget to review this. If you have any questions throughout the process, for anything at all, you can always email our osfm.lp@osfm.oregon.gov. And I'll say that a couple different times through this process. You can also just respond directly to the emails that you received because they came from our email account. They're auto, but they come from the email. So just hit reply and you can ask us questions or anything that you need. It does not go to the applicant if you hit reply. It just comes to OSFM, and we're here to answer any questions that you might have. So we'll start with the display emails and what those look like. They look very similar to retail. So I kind of took some screenshots here and broke them down so that we could kind of see what we have for each one. The subject line is basically it'll have what type of application. So this one is for a display, the location of the display to help you kind of organize which one this one is. Some areas get a lot of display applications and some areas get like 2 a year. So it's pretty easy to keep track, but we wanted a way for you to keep track on what it is. And this is for the display site. If the display has storage, you'll get a secondary email. And so it'll be first, you'll see a display site or storage site. Typically those are the same address, but every now and then we have some that are different, which is why you receive 2 emails. And it could be for the same display. And so if you're the same authority for both and it's the same address, you'll get 2 emails, but we have to keep it separate just in case there's 2 different ones. One big thing I want to point out here is if you ever receive an email with the word sandbox in front of it, that's a testing email. That is not a live email. These all should be closed and shut down by now, but there were a couple of applicants who were helping us with testing, and they were getting a little bit confused and would submit a sandbox permit that was a testing permit and got a little confused. So if you see sandbox, kind of go timeout. Hey, this is just a test. Are you purposefully testing? Some of you on this call helped us with some testing when we were developing the system, so you might be used to that, but. The applicant's name is shown in the body of the email, and it just kind of gives you hey, this is a general display permit request. Click the link, and then our contact information. So if you have any questions at all, you can give us a call. The number on here is my direct line, so I can help you if you have questions through the process. The email address actually goes to the entire team. So all 6 of us can pick it up and help with whatever you need. The links are live, the emails are forwardable. So if you have an assistant that helps, that does phone calls or follows up on payments, helps you review. If there's multiple of you in your unit that does the review, you can forward the email to other people, other areas. So here is a storage email. It looks exactly the same, which is why I wanted to make sure I pointed out that it says storage on here. And again, if it's a live email, it won't have sandbox in front of it. But same layout, applicant's name, link to go on and review. You do have to click both links and sign both if you are listed as the fire authority for the display site and the fire authority for the storage location. You have to click both links and complete the process twice. For retail, they look super, super similar, but it'll say retail in the line. It'll say retail in the body. It'll say retail in the sales application link. That'll help you kind of keep them separate. And again, storage location and retail sales location. If you're listed for both, you get 2 emails. If it's 2 separate fire authorities, obviously the storage will go to the storage authority and the sales site authority will get the sales site email. Are there any questions on emails at this point? I don't see any in the chat. Okay, we'll just keep blazing through. This might not even take the full time. So when you get those emails in your inbox, you click the link. Do not log in to the portal. Every now and then, if someone saves the link, they'll try to go back to the portal to get into different applications, and you can't do that as the fire authority yet. The plan is hopefully in years to come, hopefully sooner rather than later, you will have a portal where you'll log in, you'll see all your applications and that whole part, but that is not built yet. So it is processed by the link in the email. So please do not sign in because you won't be able to see your applications. You just click on the link. Then it's a 3-step. Oh, go ahead.
Elisa, there is maybe 2 questions in the chat. Can you see those?
Yes, I can. Yes, I was reading them. So one question was, can you find out who you have listed as for our department that will receive the email? So we don't provide that information to the applicant. The applicant is in charge of finding that information. They're supposed to call the department, confirm, hey, who's doing retail sales applications this year? It's Laura Radcliffe. Okay, can I get her contact information? Is her email address the same? They're supposed to call and confirm those every year. So we don't actually provide them any information other than if it's Corvallis Fire, Corvallis Fire's last known address, city, state, and zip. That's all we provide for them. Are there plans in the future for email validation? We had an applicant where a customer filled in the wrong email address and we had no idea that they had applied, etc. So the applicant gets told if the applicant basically is in charge of tracking their signatures and their applications. They're the ones that know when they sign them. They're the ones that know when they send out the email. They have a view in their portal that they can see, hey, has the fire authority signed yet? Hey, has the law enforcement signed yet? Yes, no. Yes, there are plans in the future to have some sort of validation and like a login for your department. So I'll use the Corvallis Fire example again. Hopefully Corvallis Fire will have a portal that they can log into and see all the applications that are listed as Corvallis Fire. That is part of the issue with building this out, is that there might be departments might have more than one person. A lot of them do. A lot of the larger departments do have more than one person working on these applications. And so we're trying to figure out how to make it so each person has access to that all at the same time. So it's an IT thing, and we have a really great team that works on it that we're hoping to get there for.
Yeah, I'll just add to that, Cheryl. I mean, currently right now, our expectation is the applicant should know where they should be sending things, and that's kind of their due diligence to figure that out. We can't manage necessarily currently the emails for 300 different fire departments, 600 different retail applicants, etc. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Is the expectation on the applicant is they need to do their homework and figure out where they need to send their applications to. So as Elisa said, maybe in the future enhancement, but currently that's kind of our expectation of the applicant. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
So when you do get the link and it's a live link, you click on it. This should be the first page you see. There are 3 steps. Step 1 is just, hey, read the instructions. They all look very, very similar. So you just have to make sure that you're on the right one. So this one's for a retail sales permit. But if you go, oh, oops, I was supposed to be doing display, you can back out of this. The link stays live. So don't panic if you click on the wrong one. You can back out of it, go back into it. Navigate when this pops open in your browser, you'll navigate using the next, and then a previous button will show up when you have a previous page to go to. This one's step 1 of 3, so it'll show up on the next page. If you want a copy of the application for your records, you will need to print page or step 2 of this process. Hopefully in the near future, we will have the ability where it will generate a PDF and send to you automatically after you sign, but that has not been built yet. So if you need a copy of the application, you'll need to print page 2. But once you read this, you click next. This is just an informational page. You'll come to the actual application. I know it looks different than the paper application, but all of the fields are exactly the same. And again, this is the screen that you'll print if you want a copy of the application. This will be prior to your signature and prior to any edits. So if you request any edits from the applicant, this is the initial application. That the edited one will come later. So you'll just scroll through. It's a pretty long form. I couldn't get the whole picture on one slide. So this is just the top part. It says the applicant's name, general information. I'm sure most of you have seen it so far. And then this is the bottom part. I wanted to point out that there are links depending on the type of application. If it's a display or a retail, there are different links throughout the application, like the map or the ID. For retail, they require a copy of the ID. Those are embedded in the application. So you have to click the link. It'll pop up as a separate attachment. You review it, make sure it matches everything. Once you confirm that the application is where you want them to be able to sell or where you want the display to be, you just click the next button. There's nothing for you to change on here. This is all just a review page. And this is still step 2. When you click next, you'll go to step 3. And we'll go over the display signature section first, because this is where the applications differ a bit. Retail hopefully will follow display soon in that it's a bit smoother in display than it is for retail. So in a display, the next page you'll come to is the Fire Authority page. You can edit any and all of this information. If they spelled your name wrong, if the address was an old address, if the email address wasn't a correct email address and you ended up getting forwarded the link, you can fix all of that here, and all of this will follow the application through. And please make the updates. So if they spell your name wrong, please fix it. That way we can kind of, basically this all feeds back into our database and it'll help us build a proper database for future iterations. And this information will populate on the final permit. So we want it to be accurate. For displays only, when you click, if you want to do a site inspection or not, you'll click yes, no. The box will populate for you to put the information in if you want to do an inspection. If you don't, nothing will populate. You can input any and all notes that you want the applicant to see or you want OSFM to see. These notes will not populate on the permit. If you need notes to populate on the permit for some reason, indicate that in this box to say you want this note on the permit, and then we'll make sure that it gets put on the permit. And the really nifty part in displays is that you can either approve or you can select revision needed, because you don't want them to light off 1,000 mortars at 5 a.m. in the middle of downtown Corvallis. Probably a bad idea. You need to change your time. You can click revision needed and then click submit. You're not signing the application. What you're doing is you're putting it back into a a status where the applicant can revise their permit. While you have their application, like once the emails go out to the fire authority, the application is locked and the applicant cannot change it. And this is by design and it's on purpose. We want the application that they send to you to be the same application that you sign. So basically the applicant fills it out. Once they sign it, it locks the application. They can no longer edit it, and it goes into the basically the authority status where you have it, you're reviewing it, and you're making a decision based on the information they provide. Here, if you want a change, they spelled something wrong that in the street name's wrong or the location's wrong, or you want different fireworks, anything at all, you can request that a revision be made here. Put that in the notes. Please adjust your time. 5 a.m. is not going to work for fireworks display downtown. If you need to, this is a great time to connect with the applicant. I know a couple of you have been CC'd on some of the emails, just chatting about the changes. That's totally fine. But once you click approved or revise and submit, the applicant gets an auto email with these notes. So you don't have to contact them if everything's available here and you're good to go. If you approve, you just sign, type your name and then the date, and then hit submit. If you want a revision, the applicant will receive this is basically a copy of the email that they're going to get. And then the notes that you want, hey, you need to change your fireworks date. It gives them a link so they can click on it and go in and edit their application. Once they edit it and they reaffirm that they've made all the corrections, they'll sign it again, and then you'll get another email and it'll say reapproval. So it looks very, very similar, but it'll say reapproval. So it is the same process as before. You click the link and it'll take you to the page for you to reapprove the application as they've made changes. And then you can go through that loop as many times as you want. If they keep messing up the time or they change something else, because they have the ability to change everything on their application at that point. We've been seeing a little bit of issues with selecting the wrong wholesaler or something like that. So they want to just make a change to that too. So we had to leave it open for them to be able to edit the entire application, not just what you request that they change. So that should be the end of display signing. Are there any questions on displays? And this is for limited, general, and special effects. So all three are the exact same process in our system. Okay, we'll move on to retail. It's slightly different, but not too bad. The emails are very, very similar. Basically, when you get to step 3 of 3 in the retail, so you've already reviewed the application, you looked at it, and we're ready for you to sign, you can still edit all of your information. All of that's the same. And if you approve it, you just sign it and date it, and you're done. If you need a revision, this is the step where you pause, don't sign it, don't do anything with it. Contact the applicant. You can email them, call them, however your department chooses to do that. But you have to make contact with them. The contact isn't made through the application. It's made outside of the application. And this is just for retail only. Displays, you can do it all through the application. So basically, this is just a reiteration of if you need changes to a retail application, you'll make contact with them outside of that permit. You just don't have the same drop down that displays do. The applicant can go in, they'll make changes to their application and send it back. You'll get another set of emails saying, hey, the application's been revised and ready for your signature. Once everybody has signed, this is the same for all of them. You'll get this screen here. It'll have a little green bar saying, hey, it's good to go. Once you get that green bar, the link will always just take you back to this, hey, you already did it screen. So once you sign, the link freezes, locks. This puts it back into a status where the applicant can't change the application because you've already approved it as it's been written, but they can request a revision. So if you approve it and then they realize, oh, we used the wrong amount of the fireworks that we want to do. We want to do 20 instead of 30. They can go in and request a revision, but it will go back to you and you will get a revised email. That way the system automatically ensures that the fire authority always knows when there's a change. So that is it for signing and the emails. If you forgot to print a copy of the application or you want a copy of the permit once you've signed, you can email us or you can email the applicant The applicant actually has the best version of the copy of the application, so we always encourage you to reach out to them and ask them. But if it's easier just to reach out to us, you can do that too. We just ask that you try and batch it. If you have, 10 of them that you need, if you could put all 10 in one email, that would be great. But if you can't, no big deal. We can process them as you go. That is the end of what I have for everybody. Are there any questions? I do have some live emails, so we can click through them and I can show you the live emails if you would like. And if you feel like you've got a pretty good grasp on it, we don't need to do that. It's entirely up to the group. I guess hearing none, I we probably can just end the thing here. I'm trying to figure out Zoom.
I just wanted to say quick thanks, Elisa, for taking the time to walk everyone through that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if
Thank you
nobody has,
both.
oh yeah, sorry, Vanessa, go ahead.
Oh, no, no worries. Thank you both for joining us and putting together the presentation. It was really informative. I'm going to end the recording if you don't have any last words.
No.
All right.